In the microscopic world, a battle is constantly raging, one so tiny it can't be seen with the naked eye. It's the fight between antibodies and viruses, and it's a battle that has been happening since the dawn of life itself. Viruses, tiny, insidious invaders, are always trying to break into your cells, hijack your machinery, and spread. But standing in their way are the antibodies, highly specialized proteins produced by your immune system to fight off just these kinds of invaders. This is the ultimate microscopic battle, and it's one that takes place in every moment of your life. When a virus enters the body, it starts with one goal: to find a cell to infect. It attaches itself to a surface receptor, usually found on the host cell membrane. And once it locks in, it can enter the cell, where it releases its genetic material. This genetic material is then used by the cell's machinery to make copies of the virus, which will eventually burst out and spread to infect more cells. The process can be devastating, especially for viruses that target critical cells, like the ones that cause influenza, HIV, or even COVID-19. This is where antibodies come into play. Antibodies are part of the immune system's defense network, specifically produced by B cells, a type of white blood cell. These antibodies are designed to recognize and bind to foreign invaders, like viruses, marking them for destruction. Think of antibodies as the highly trained soldiers in the immune system, each one specifically tailored to fight only a particular virus. The antibody has a unique structure with a variable region that binds to a specific antigen, a part of the virus that's foreign to the body. The key to their effectiveness is this specificity. Each antibody is designed to latch onto a single, unique part of the virus, much like a key fitting into a lock. When antibodies detect a virus, they attach themselves to specific proteins on the virus's surface. This could be a protein spike or a receptor that the virus uses to enter the host cell. By binding to these proteins, antibodies can block the virus from entering cells, effectively neutralizing it. This is a powerful defense mechanism, as it stops the virus in its tracks before it can do any damage. But the battle doesn't stop there. Antibodies can also work in more intricate ways. Once they attach to a virus, antibodies act as a flag, marking the virus for destruction. This is known as opsonization, and it alerts other parts of the immune system, like macrophages, to come in and gobble up the virus. It's like putting a target on the virus, making it easier for the immune system to find and eliminate it. But even that's not all. Antibodies also trigger the complement system, a group of proteins that work together to destroy the virus or infected cells. In this way, antibodies don't just neutralize a virus directly, they summon the reinforcements. However, viruses are not just helpless targets, they are cunning and adaptable, constantly evolving to evade the immune system. A virus is not a passive actor in this battle. It's always finding new ways to outsmart its opponents. One of the most common ways it does this is through antigenic variation, where the virus changes the proteins on its surface, making it harder for antibodies to recognize and bind to them. This is why we need a new flu vaccine every year. The influenza virus constantly shifts its surface proteins to evade the immune system, making it a moving target for antibodies. Some viruses, like HIV, are particularly good at evading antibodies. HIV attacks the very cells that are supposed to defend the body, specifically the CD4 T cells, which are crucial for activating B cells to produce antibodies. As the virus weakens the immune system, it leaves the body vulnerable to infections and diseases that normally wouldn't pose a threat. Even when the immune system produces antibodies, HIV is so quick to mutate that it can evade recognition. This makes it one of the hardest viruses to fight and highlights the constant arms race between viruses and the immune system. Then there are viruses like herpes simplex virus that can hide from the immune system by going dormant in the body. After the initial infection, the virus retreats into nerve cells and remains inactive, only to reactivate later when the immune system is weakened, like during times of stress or illness. During this latent phase, the virus is essentially invisible to antibodies, and the immune system's defenses are left guessing. This is another example of how viruses try to outsmart the immune system by going underground and avoiding detection. Despite these tactics, antibodies remain one of our best defenses. When we encounter a virus for the first time, our immune system produces primary antibodies. These are the first antibodies that respond to an infection, but they take time to ramp up, usually a few days to a week. As the body learns to fight the virus, it begins producing memory antibodies. These are the same antibodies but in greater amounts and higher affinity, ready to respond much faster if the virus returns. This is the principle behind vaccines. By introducing a weakened or inactivated form of a virus, we train the immune system to recognize the virus without causing illness. This prepares the immune system to launch a quick and effective response the next time the virus appears. Antibodies are not only involved in fighting existing infections, they also have therapeutic uses. Scientists have harnessed the power of antibodies in treatments known as monoclonal antibodies. These are laboratory-made antibodies designed to bind to specific targets, like the spike protein of the coronavirus. By binding to the virus, monoclonal antibodies can neutralize it or prevent it from entering cells. These treatments have been used in diseases like COVID-19, where they help the body fight off the virus by directly targeting and neutralizing it. Despite all these strategies and defenses, viruses continue to be one of the most formidable challenges for our immune system. They evolve quickly, they find ways to hide, and they can overwhelm the body's defenses. But the immune system fights back with remarkable precision and adaptability. The arms race continues, but antibodies remain one of the most powerful tools in the body's arsenal, constantly improving, learning, and fighting. This microscopic battle is ongoing, invisible to the naked eye, but it is one of the most important aspects of our health. Every time you feel a sniffle or a sore throat, your body is engaged in a battle between antibodies and viruses. Every infection you've ever fought, every vaccine that has helped your immune system prepare, is part of this ultimate fight. The viruses are constantly trying to outsmart the body, but the body's response, led by antibodies, is relentless and ever-evolving. The battle is far from over, and every day, your immune system is out there, protecting you in ways you can't even begin to see.